Welcome back. Today we join a massive undertaking as a sprawling expanse of raw earth is transformed into a permanent estate. The scale of the footprint demands deep foundation work. A hydraulic hammer shatters the bedrock, making way for a level, compacted gravel base. Without a perfectly stable substrate, the immense load of a stone-clad structure would eventually crack the foundation. Down in the pit, the concrete foundation walls receive a thick layer of black waterproofing. This membrane prevents hydrostatic pressure from forcing ground moisture into the lower levels. The framing phase begins with heavy timber. A crane delivers massive wooden beams across the foundation span. These oversized joists are necessary to support the vast open floor plans of the upper levels, reducing the need for load-bearing interior columns. Workers guide each suspended timber into precise alignment before it takes the structural load. The geometry must be perfect from the ground up. A fraction of an inch here compounds into massive alignment issues at the roofline. High above the subfloor, green sheathing is locked onto the roof joists. These panels integrate a water-resistive barrier directly into the wood, sealing the envelope early against sudden weather. Lower down, the structural demands transition from wood to steel. A telehandler threads a heavy I-beam between two concrete block walls. Steel provides unparalleled tensile strength over wide spans, carrying the sheer weight of the custom masonry that will soon define the exterior. The framing peaks with a complex canopy of wooden roof trusses. Prefabricated to exact tolerances, these triangular webs distribute the immense downward force of a heavy roof evenly to the exterior walls. Navigating the heavy sections into place requires constant communication between the crane operator and the crew balancing on the top plates. Each truss acts as a rigid brace, locking the skeleton together against wind, shear, and dead loads. Plywood sheathing closes the complex roofline. Nailing these broad panels directly to the trusses creates a structural diaphragm, essentially turning the fragile wooden ribs into a single, unified shell. The roof is now rigid.
Pick it up.
With the shell enclosed, The focus shifts to architectural detail. A custom curved dormer is dropped onto the front entrance, breaking the flat roof plane. Nearby, masons build a brick chimney protruding through the black underlayment. The masonry must be carefully stepped and flashed with metal to ensure a watertight seal against the aggressive angles of the roof pitch.
Got it, Mike?
Another massive steel I-beam is guided into the green zip system exterior. Marrying steel with timber require specialized fastening techniques, as the materials expand and contract at different rates under thermal stress. The crane holds the dead weight, allowing the crew to make micro-adjustments for perfectly plumb alignment. Down in the dirt, a plate compactor prepares the base for a retaining wall. Compressing the gravel substrate prevents settling, which would fracture the heavy stone blocks over time. Above, thick architectural shingles create a final weather barrier, overlapping to shed water rapidly off the complex peaks. The building envelope is finally sealed with the arrival of oversized patio doors. These massive double-pane units are filled with argon gas, providing essential thermal insulation against the expansive glass surfaces.
There you go. You're in.
On the exterior, brickwork progresses around the newly installed window trim. The dense masonry cladding acts as a durable shield, buffering the internal framework from the elements. Inside, oscillating tools make precise plunge, cuts into the rough framing to accommodate mechanical routing. As the interior takes shape, heavy machinery returns to break ground for the sprawling outdoor amenities. An excavator tears through the dense red clay, opening deep trenches for a secondary foundation line. High on the slate roof, a decorative copper finial is secured. Copper naturally develops a protective patina over time, preventing deep corrosion. In the backyard, a complex rebar grid forms the skeleton of the swimming pool. The steel basket will provide critical tensile strength to the concrete shell. Pneumatic hoses blast wet concrete against the grid. Firing the aggregate at high velocity eliminates air pockets, creating a dense, watertight basin. Inside, finish work begins. A manual score and snap tool makes quick linear cuts, while a water-cooled diamond blade handles intricate angles. The continuous flow of water prevents the dense ceramic from overheating and cracking under friction. Outside, a skid steer shuttles concrete to areas unreachable by the heavy mixer trucks. Constant movement is required to keep the mix from setting in the bucket. The interior transitions to warm, natural materials. A pneumatic floor nailer drives specialized cleats at a sharp angle through the tongue of each hardwood plank. This hides the fasteners completely while locking the boards tightly against seasonal expansion. Wooden stair treads are bedded in structural adhesive to eliminate squeaks under heavy foot traffic, then permanently locked in place with a nail gun. The outdoor recreation areas begin to take shape. A heavy-duty steel post is bolted to a deep concrete footer to handle aggressive vibration. Bolting a solid steel rim directly through tempered glass requires thick rubber gaskets. These bushings absorb shock, preventing a shattered backboard from a hard impact. Along the waterline of the pool, dense black tiles are set into mortar. The rubber mallet beds the tiles securely without risking a chip, sealing the porous concrete edge. Precision is just as critical during drywall installation. Measuring raw edges ensures tight joints, which dramatically reduces the amount of joint compound needed during the finishing phase.
If you're gonna be here, can I show you? Yeah. Real quick. All this goes. It don't matter. His cam's going to 126. So you shoot our crown across.
Custom stone fabrication happens off-site. A pneumatic polisher grinds the rough edge of a marble slab, aided by a constant mist of water. The slurry acts as a lubricant, yielding a mirror-like finish on the dense stone.
Yeah.
Heavy capstones finally lock the retaining wall blocks together by pure mass. Formwork dictates the geometry of the front entrance. Wet concrete is directed down the chute, filling the heavy wooden frames. As the aggregate settles, workers must quickly trowel the cream to the surface to create a smooth, walkable finish before it cures. Back in the shop, a CNC router carves a flawless sink opening into the marble, mapping digital templates to physical stone. The finished piece is maneuvered into the bathroom. The precision cut ensures the undermount sink will seal perfectly flush against the stone. Surrounding the pool, the sprawling concrete deck receives a meticulous, hand-troweled finish. Steel hand tools seal the pores of the concrete, pushing the coarse aggregate down while pulling a fine, durable paste to the surface. In tight corridors next to the house, a tracked buggy navigates the narrow setbacks, delivering heavy loads without compacting the surrounding landscape soil. Installing a vault door requires raw manpower. The solid steel panel must be perfectly balanced. Finish carpentry demands exact angles. The miter saws slices cleanly through the thick trim, preparing the complex molding profiles that will frame the living spaces. A massive chandelier is temporarily supported by hand, isolating the fragile wiring from the fixture's immense weight during installation. The sheer volume of material required for the sweeping driveway necessitates constant, coordinated pours over a heavily compacted gravel base. A mechanical lift does the heavy lifting overhead. Hoisting drywall perfectly flat prevents the brittle gypsum core from snapping under its own weight.
One more.
Intricate ceiling details are locked in from scaffolding. The decorative molding hides the expansion gaps between the textured ceiling panels and the walls, allowing the massive house to settle without cracking the finish. With the space completely masked in plastic, a high-volume sprayer coats the intricate trim. Atomizing the paint creates a flawless, brush-free shell that bonds tightly to the raw wood. Oversized architectural glass eliminates visual barriers. The tempered panes carry extreme tension, requiring careful, synchronized handling. The drive pour is a race against the cure time. Raking the thick aggregate distributes the mass quickly, ensuring the slab dries uniformly to prevent structural scaling. dark, textured accent tiles are nailed directly to the ceiling joists, contrasting sharply with the bright marble walls.
Dave.
A sharp trowel edge seals the concrete tight against the plastic-wrapped foundation. Leaving no gaps here stops freezing water from wedging the narrow slab away from the main brick structure. Inside, custom paneling receives a pristine coat of white. Spraying builds thick, even coverage over complex molding profiles where a brush would leave pooling and drip marks. The stark contrast continues overhead. Coating a ceiling in pitch black hides the mechanical routing and forces the eye downward, making the already spacious room feel infinitely tall. Moving massive stone slabs requires industrial suction. The vacuum crane distributes the lifting force evenly across the surface, preventing the brittle marble from snapping under its own extreme weight. Custom dark gray accent panels are hoisted into place, locking into a hidden cleat system that keeps the mounting hardware entirely invisible. Overhead, natural wood planks add structural warmth. Firing nails at alternating angles creates a wedge effect, locking the boards permanently against gravity. An abrasive disc chews through structural steel. The fierce shower of sparks is simply atomized steel instantly oxidizing in the air as the beam is cut to length. Heavy metal posts are stood up by a telehandler. This rugged framework will support an expansive outdoor pergola, engineered to withstand intense wind loads. Custom embellishments add distinct character. A water jet cut metal shape is sanded smooth to remove the hardened slag left from the cutting process, then submerged to receive a protective chemical coating. The final pieces of stone make their way into the kitchen. Heavy marble slabs are delicately dropped onto the base cabinets to pull the massive countertop perfectly tight against the exposed brick wall. A heavy-duty ratcheting suction tool bridges the gap. It provides thousands of pounds of lateral force without scratching the polished surface. It takes immense effort to micro-adjust raw stone. The seam must be perfectly flush, leaving no room for moisture to penetrate behind the cabinetry. From a muddy, tangled lot emerges a flawless, sprawling estate. Inside, the immense scale is anchored by heavy stone and dark timber. The raw materials of construction have been refined into luxurious, quiet spaces. A professional-grade gym and a cinematic theater turned the basement into an autonomous compound. Every corner is engineered for endurance and comfort. What began as a muddy pit now commands the landscape. In the end, structure and daily routine operate as one seamless system. A place built to last.